What is going on? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another amazing webinar. I'm excited for this topic. Again, tonight's topic, how to earn $20,000 a month as an insurance agent. One of the most registered, fastest webinars that we have done in quite a while. You guys have been coming in record numbers. Congratulations to you. Also, as you guys are jumping in, before I bring in our special guest, as you guys are tuning in, I would love to know where you are watching from. And before we bring in our special guest, and again, he's going to teach you exactly how to earn $20,000 a month as an insurance agent. I've also got this for you in case you need to make notes or do anything along the way. I am curious, what was it about tonight's topic that made you stop, register, and show up for tonight? What was it about making 20 grand a month that stood out to you? You know what? Here's what I want to know though, okay? Before we throw to our special guest in 1 second, who is going to actually apply what they are taught tonight? And does Mike have full permission to coach you and be direct and honest about what it takes for you to win? Okay, if that is you, give me a me in chat. If you were like, dude, I'm committed, I want to win, I will listen, I will do whatever he says, I promise, I will implement. Okay, most people become part of the 92% Sergey because they do not implement. This dude implements. He's about to help you implement. And so please welcome from True Wealth out of Ohio, helping agents all around the world get to 20 grand a month as fast as possible, maybe the next 30, 60, 90 days. Who knows? The best in the world to teach this title, my buddy, Mike Corte.
Good to see you guys on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. Thank you, Cody, for your introduction. Man, this guy, Cody, is definitely one of the best when it comes to putting on a good show, putting on a good webinar. If you're not registered yet for the 8% Nation event in July, you better register now, guys, because I'll be there. Cody will be there. It's going to be a great time. So once again, thank you, Cody, for having me on this podcast, on this virtual webinar here today. Guys, I am going to show you guys today over the next 30 to 45 minutes how to make $20,000 a month as an insurance agent. So I promise you, today is one of those days where you want to have a notepad and a pen ready. I promise you the information, if you apply it today, you would definitely start to earn $20,000 going forward. So guys, a little bit about myself. I was an agent just like you, and I was broke with multiple O's. I was back in college as a student at The Ohio State University. I joined the insurance field because my business partner, Jalen, was like, hey, Mike, you should do this industry. I'm doing it. We did it together. Awesome. My first 3 months as an agent, I was literally buying leads and breaking even. Who can relate? Buying leads and breaking even. That was me. I was the buying the leads, breaking even. If you can relate to that, put a fire emoji in the chat. I was buying leads and breaking even. Now, there was a reason why I was breaking even. And there's a reason why if you're breaking even as well, there's a reason why you're breaking even. So for me, I was buying the leads, breaking even. Now, month 3 of March of 2020 is when things changed for me. My business partner, Jalen, at the time was buying the same leads as me. He had the same script as me. He also had the same mentor as me, same contract, same everything. I'm like, man. And he went out there in March of 2020 and did 29,000 in sales in 1 month. And I told myself, honestly, I think I look better than him. But I was like, what is the difference between him and me? And honestly, it was the belief he had. He believed he can go out there and make it happen. I didn't believe at that time. So then, after March of 2020, I told myself I would never make less than $10,000 a month ever as an insurance agent. And after that month, my belief was at an all-time high because I saw my business partner do it, so I could do it too. So after March of 2020, I've never went below $10,000 a month as an agent. It's not because I'm just no, it's because of the desire I had to win, the belief I had for myself. So for you guys today, I'm gonna show you guys the steps you need to take to get to that next level in your business. And the one thing I want to show you guys, the one thing I want to point out today is going to be this, and write this down too. You need to start having a 1% language. You need to start having a 1% language. What changed for me, like I said before, was my mindset, my belief, but also my language change. I stopped saying, "Oh, these leads suck." I stopped saying, "Oh, all these clients are telling me no." I stopped saying, "Oh, I'm gonna hopefully get a sale today." No, I started saying, "I am going to get a sale today." You need to start having a 1% language. You want to eliminate the poverty language. You need to eliminate the poverty language, guys. So you want to stop having thoughts of fear or doubt of failure and start having the thoughts of success and abundance. The number one trait, and I stole this from Cody, the number one trait an insurance agent should have is being optimistic. The number one trait an insurance agent should have is being optimistic. The glass is always half full. The glass is always half full. So, guys, I'm gonna go over some different steps today to earn $20,000 a month. If you're ready, put some five emojis in the chat. Guys, once again, my name is Michael Cortain. I'm the owner of True Wealth Financial. Our agency right now is doing over $500,000 a month in life insurance sales. We're also doing a lot of Medicare sales. We're also doing some annuity sales as well. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's going to be at Mike Cortain. So MikeKwarteng. Do me a favor as well. Take a picture of me right now, smiling, and tag me on Instagram as well. So it'll be at Mike, MikeKwarteng. Also follow us on True Wealth page as well on IG. Guys, it's business is simple if you have the blueprint. The first thing I want to go over today is gonna be the routine. It's gonna be the routine. Okay, guys, the routine is the number one step you need to adopt to start to make $20,000 a month. So, guys, put in the chat real quick. What is your morning routine? Put in the chat real quick. What is your current morning routine right now? So, guys, when I was a brand new agent, my morning routine was checking social media, checking my emails, checking Facebook, getting on and watching Sports Center. I told myself I need to eliminate certain things to make sure I start my day on a good note. I told myself as an agent, I'm not going to get on social media until after my workday. Now, if you're using social media to make more sales, keep doing it. But my morning routine was very, very important to me. Write this one down too, guys. I, I started to listen to an audio called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, or is Napoleon Hill, one of those two. But you can find it on YouTube. The Strangest Secret. I started adopting that into my morning routine. Also my morning routine, I started to go to the gym. Now, if you're not a big gym person, go on a walk for 30 minutes. Go and exercise your body. It's a proven fact. If you work out in the mornings, it makes you feel good. And Deion Sanders says, when you feel good, you play good. So my morning routine consisted of mind, body, spirit. I focus on my body by working out. I focus on my mind by listening to a podcast, something like I said before, The Strangest Secret. And then also, I focus on a spiritual thing. And for me, I'm a big Bible guy. So I read the Bible for at least 30 minutes in the morning. So for you, this is the first step. If you want to get to 20 grand a month, it maybe already at 10 grand a month. I promise you, if you adopt one of these three things to your morning routine here, it will increase your sales. It will get you to where you're at a good state in your mind in the morning. So mind, body, spirit in the morning is very important. Now, if you're an agent that is looking to make $20,000 a month, I will definitely focus on 5 to 6 days a week of working your leads. 5 to 6 days a week of working your leads. You're gonna want to be at least have about 8 to 9 hours per day to work your leads. So 8 to 9 hours per day to work your leads. So you want to work about 5 to 6 days a week. And honestly, guys, I think you can get to 20 grand a month by working 4 to 5 days. I think giving yourself 6 days, it allows you to have a lot of slacking days. For me, when I was in the field working as an agent, I worked only 4 days a week. I try to compress time frames. If you give yourself too much time to hit your goal throughout the week, you're gonna have lollygagging days. You're gonna just be just going through the motions. Give yourself, I'll say about 4 to 5 days and not 1 week to hit your weekly goal. So our goal is to make, let's say, 5 grand a month. So 5 grand a week. If you don't hit 5 grand in income by Thursday or Friday in your working week, you had to work a 6 day that week. It's making sure you hold yourself accountable to whatever goal you have for yourself. Cool? Awesome, guys. So let's now go over leads. Leads. So we're gonna go over leads next. Now, this is probably the most hot topic here. What leads to buy? How many leads to buy? I'm gonna go over the whole entire math right now of leads and how many leads you need to earn 20 grand a month. So if you're doing face-to-face sales, let's start there first. If you're doing face-to-face sales, I recommend buying about 40 leads a week. 40 leads a week. And have all your leads be in one county. If you're doing telesales, I recommend about 100 to about 125 leads per week. So face to face, 40 leads per week. Telesales, 100 to 125 leads per week. Now, the average income off of one sale for final expense is going to be usually about 600 bucks. So the average income of a final expense sale is going to be about 600 bucks. Now, if you're selling IULs and term, awesome. This training today is going to be more about final expense, traditional whole life, a little bit of IULs, but more about final expense sales. The reason why, because final expense is a great market for you to start into because it's a sale where the client gets approved for the policy the same day usually. So you get paid quicker. Also with final expense sales, the it's these clients are already knowing they need this policy because they're already getting bombarded with a lot of advertisements on TV or in the mail. So the final expense sale, it's a good way for you to get your feet wet into if you're new to the insurance space. So back to my topic. So face to face, 40 leads a week, telesales, 100 to 125 leads per week. Now, if you're doing telesales, I recommend buying off Kaboom leads. It's gonna probably cost you 15 to 17 bucks per lead, I believe, maybe more than that. Check the site. If you're doing face-to-face sales, probably about 28 bucks per lead. Okay, so for face-to-face sales, for 40 leads, you're gonna probably spend about 1,100. For telesales, you're going to spend about 1,800 for leads. Now, if you're probably wondering, Mike, 1,800 is a lot of money to spend on leads. I get that. The beautiful thing about this business is this. Once you spend money on leads one time, you should be able to make money off that one-time investment, and then pretty much just rinse and repeat afterwards. I'm gonna say it again. Once you make that initial investment off the lead to buy the leads, you should be able to make sales off those leads and then rinse and repeat afterwards. So you're really only buying leads, quote unquote, one time with your own money. And then after that, you're making money off the sales and you're rinse and repeating. So once again, for face-to-face sales, I believe you should see about a 25% closing rate. Now you're probably wondering, how do I get to 25% closing rate? One, morning routine. Two, knowing your script. Three, having a coach and a mentor. Having a coach and a mentor is really important. And then four, I would say knowing how to overcome certain objections and rebuttals and know your underwriting and stuff like that. But I believe you're buying real-time leads from a quality lead source, you should see about 25% closing rate face to face. For over the phone, you see about a 10% closing rate for over the phone. All right. So Do the math right now. So if I'm buying 125 telesales leads a week at a 10% closing rate, I'm closing on 12.5 people. All right. Times about the average income per sale, that's about 600 bucks you'll make on average per sale. That's what exactly gets put into your bank account each month off that one. So each sale 600 bucks is what you make per sale. So 12.5 is what you're going to close on at a 10% closing rate off of 125 telesales leads. So that's 7,500 you're making per week off those 125 leads. All right. Minus your lead cost, that means you'll be at roughly that much income per week. Times that by 4 weeks in a month, that's $20,000. Who believes in the chat? Put in the chat real quick. Who believes they can be at a 10% closing rate over the phone selling final expense insurance? I believe out of a batch of 125 leads, there's going to be a lot of laydowns. Those are clients that buy insurance off of anybody. Guys, if you're able to follow a script, if you're and if anyone, if Jalen, if you can, Jalen, go ahead and put our script in the chat if you don't mind, Jalen. I'm open to sharing guys our true wealth script today. So, guys, if you follow this script, that won't be the only reason why I make 20 grand, but you need to have some other things as well. But if you follow the script, that'll be a good start for you to start to earn 20 grand a month. So Jalen, if you can, put our script in the chat if you can as well. So that's the telesale side. For face-to-face side, 40 leads, 25% closing rate, closing on 10 people. Times that by 600, that's $6,000 you'll make per week doing face-to-face sales. Minus your lead cost, that's 4,875. Times that by 4, that's 19,500, dang near 20,000 a month. Guys, the reason why I'm so confident in all these numbers is because one, I did it myself. And then two, there is many agents right now in our agency that are following this exact blueprint to also earn 20K a month in income. So guys, these are not just fluffy Delphi numbers. These are actually real numbers that do work. And I promise you, it may seem a little bit scary to spend 1,800 on telesales leads, but that's the cool thing about life is that I'm your mentor today, and I'm telling you to take a leap of faith to do something you're not comfortable with because no offense, you're probably not making 20K a month right now. So these things I'm telling you to do right now are things that are gonna push you and catapult you to get to where you want to get to. Now, hear me out. I do understand this. Maybe you don't have the finances for leads. Maybe you don't have the finances for leads, and I get that. We all gotta start somewhere. I do believe there's other ways to make sales in this business. There's going to be a way called a senior home idea. You can go to many senior homes in your area and go there and talk to the coordinator at the senior home and say, hey, my name is Michael. I'm an insurance agent. I want to host a pizza party. I want to host a pizza party in this area. And you're going to bring pizza and pop to the senior home and you're going to educate the people. You're going to educate the people about final expense insurance. You're going to educate the folks about final expense insurance. You'll probably have about 10 to 20, 30 seniors that show up to your seminar at the event at the senior home. And so you get 10 to 20, 30 seniors at the seminar at the senior home, and you only bring in pizza and pop, you can now be able to educate the people about final expense insurance and potentially sell them 5 to 8 policies off of a $100 investment, give or take. So that's another great way for you to make sales if you don't have much capital to buy leads. I'm seeing a lot of people saying they don't see the script. That's okay. If you shoot me a message on Instagram. If you shoot me a message on Instagram, I put my IG tag right now on it. Shoot me a message on Instagram and also tag me on Instagram and I will send the script to you guys. So sorry. Here it is. Here's my Instagram right here. Here's also my business page as well. And we will get the script over to you immediately. All right, guys. I'm not trying to hold back information. I literally want to see everyone win at a high level. And guys, this business is very lucrative. And I'm just here to show you guys what has worked for me. All right, cool. So if you have any questions about leads, put in the chat. I'm gonna try to answer all the questions you guys have about leads in the chat. Okay, so cool. So we got the leads now. We got the leads now. But now, how do we work the leads? How do we work the leads? How do we work the leads? If you're doing telesales, if you're doing telesales, yes, I recommend buying Kaboom leads. They're great. They're phenomenal. Our top producing agent last month, well, one of our top producing agents last month worked Kaboom leads. He did over 45,000 in sales in 1 month. He helped over 55 families in 1 month. So guys, the Kaboom leads are great. And I recommend buying them. So guys, so how to work telesales leads. I recommend having power hour sessions. I recommend having power hour sessions. So I recommend having three-hour power hour sessions doing telesales. How many states you need to have a license in? I recommend at least minimum of 10 states for telesales. And I recommend these states. I recommend Texas. I recommend Georgia. I recommend Florida. I recommend Arizona. I recommend Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania. I recommend South Carolina, North Carolina, and I also recommend California. All right. So those are the states I recommend for telesales. And I recommend having three-hour power hour sessions in one day. So it looks kind of like this. You would wake up at whatever time, do your morning routine, and then let's say you start dialing from 10 until 1. You go from 10 until 1, and you do like an hour break. You go from 2 until 5. You do an hour break. Then you do from 6 until 9. So and between those power hour sessions on your break time, that's when you're taking your admin calls. That's when the client says, "Hey, Mike, I need to change my bank account information." That's when you're taking those calls. You do not take calls like that during your power hour sessions. If a client calls you during your power hour session, you answer the phone and say, "Hey, Miss Betty, how you doing today?" "Hey, Mike, I need to get my banking information changed." "Awesome, Miss Betty. I'm going to call you at 2 o'clock. Is that okay?" Boom. That's how you stay focused. The number one way, the number one way agents don't hit their goals is because they have a lot of distractions. A lot of distractions. You're getting distracted because you got to do the laundry. You got to help this client. Guys, during your power hour session doing telesales, the only thing you're doing is focusing on income producing activity. You're focused on doing income producing activities. That's it. That's all you're doing is that you're calling through all your leads. You're focused on that. If you're doing face-to-face sales, I recommend 10 a.m. until sunset 5 days a week. 10 a.m. until sunset 5 days a week. And make sure when you're doing face-to-face sales, all your leads are in one county if possible. All right. Now, when it comes to telesales, guys, I recommend you do about 300 dials per day. 300 dials per day or 5 presentations per day. That's the goal, guys. There's nothing less than that. If you want to make 20, and put in the chat real quick, 20K a month. Put in the chat, 20K a month. If you want to earn 20K a month, you need to be doing 300 dials per day or 5 presentations per day. Guys, it's either or. I'm cool with either or. It's 300 dials per day or 5 presentations per day. And guys, one dial in my book, it's a triple dial. Call the client, call the client, call the client. That's one dial. Okay, so that's one dial. So you can do 300 of those in one day, or 5 presentations in one day, or 2 sales per day. For face-to-face sales, you're going to do about 15 to 20 door knocks in one day. Can you explain why one county is recommended? You know why? Because for face-to-face sales, the name of the game is trying to get to as many houses in one day possible. So if you have your leads in different counties, it's going to be hard for you to get to all your leads because you have leads in different counties. So you're doing face-to-face sales, having all your leads in one county, and now allows you to get to all your leads in the most fastest and more strategic way. And also too, make sure you're using like some sort of like a MapQuest route planner or an app called Circuit when you're doing face-to-face sales. Dialer, yes. Pixie or Wave Dialer is definitely recommended. But guys, like I said, our top agent last month does not use a dialer. He doesn't. He just works. No dialer needed. He just works. All right. So back to what I was saying before. So telesales. 300 dials per day or 5 presentations per day or 2 sales per day is what's needed. So guys, to kind of recap, to make 20K a month, guys, routine, mindset is 90%, is 80% of the battle. I'm gonna say again, routine, mindset is 80% of the battle. Guys, you need to make sure your personal development routine is at an all-time high. Guys, I I want you to don't be a person development junkie. Don't be a person development junkie. I want you to focus on honing in on a few different, maybe one or two or three different podcasts or audios, and you really listen to those one or two, three different podcasts or audios and really hone down on those three. And I see a lot of people, they just hop around different podcasts or information, but they don't actually master what's being said in that one podcast. Guys, I'll be honest with you guys, real quick. Here's full transparency. Over the last 6 months, I have listened to this one Eric Thomas podcast like 5 times in one day. That's just how I am. I listen to one podcast or one video, I lock in on it, and I want to make sure I mastered what's being said in that podcast. Same thing for books. I reread the same book over. I have reread Think and Grow Rich easily like 50 times because I always find something new in there. Guys, that's how I work. I like to go through and master that book over and over and over again. So guys, this business is 80% mindset, 20% skill set. Now you're probably wondering, Mike, man, I'm doing, I'm at 5,000 a month right now. Mike, man, I'm at 20,000 a month right now. The only thing that's stopping you from getting to 20K a month is going to be repetition. Write this down. Write this down. Repetition times skill set equals income. So the more repetition you have, by nature, your skill set should grow, and then by nature, your income should grow. So if you're stuck at a certain income level per month right now, it's maybe a matter of not enough reps. And you're not getting enough reps, so therefore your skill set cannot grow. And if you want your skill set to grow, you need more reps. So repetition times skill set equals income. All right, guys. So cool. We're on to my next, also my last topic, which would be the presentation. I do understand buying leads and trying to make sales is it's easier said than done. Obviously, need to have an effective presentation. Like I said before, If you want access to our script, just feel free to shoot me a message on IG or I think Jill put my email in here as well. You can shoot me a message. I get you over my our script that we use for True Wealth. Um, but our presentation is definitely recommended. An effective presentation. So write this down, guys. In a presentation, you want to have 4 parts to a presentation. You want to have your approach, you want to have your discovery, you want to have your body, and your close. So you want to have your approach, you want to have your discovery, you want to have your body, and you want to have your close. All right. So in a presentation, I recommend you follow a script. Now, if you're brand new to the insurance field and you're looking to make this investment and buy these leads and make the 20K a month, I recommend you know a script. I recommend you know the script like the back of your hand. It's not it's not okay for you to know the script because you said it to yourself in your head a lot of times. I recommend doing the mirror technique. The mirror technique. So once you master the script, John, Sean, Michael, Carol, I want you to say it out loud to yourself because things sound different when you say it out loud. And that's the reason why a lot of agents said, Mike, I mastered the script, but I sound robotic because you have not said it out loud. So when you master the script, you want to say it out loud and in front of a mirror or in front of your family and your friends till it sounds conversational. So once you master the script, say it out loud many times. So when it comes to the presentation and the approach is super important. So in the approach, if you're doing telesales, if you're doing face to face, the top 5 objections you're gonna get is gonna be, I don't have time, I didn't fill it out, I'm not interested, I already have insurance, and that's really about it. Guys, put in the chat, is there any other objection that you think you'll get? So I don't have time, I didn't fill it out, I already have insurance, or I'm not interested. Is there any, guys, put in the chat, is there any other ones you will get? Mail me a quote. Guys, no, talking about in the opening line. In the opening line, when you call the client or you knock the client's house, what are the usual objections? I got no money. I don't have, beautiful guys. Okay. So here's how to overcome all of these things. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to overcome all the objections in the opening line of a script. You guys ready? Write this down. If I call a client, hey, Miss Betty, how you been? They're gonna say, hey, I'm doing good. Who's this? My name is Michael. I'm the underwriting for your area. You requested information on my final expense options in blank, California. Is that correct? They'll say, yeah, that's me, but I have no time right now. All you're going to say is this: hey, I completely understand. Before I let you go, let me even verify if I'm even talking to the right person. And you want to verify 2 or 3 fields on that lead. And then you would say, did I read any of that wrong to you? I'm going to say it again. The opening line for telesales I use, hey, Miss Betty, how have you been? When you say how have you been, is you're saying I've been talking to you for a long time. It's kind of like a mindset shift for them. So you say, hey, Miss Betty, how have you been? Like, huh, how do I know this person? So they say usually they're gonna say you say, I'm doing good. Who's this? Hey, Miss Betty, my name is Michael. I'm the underwriter for your area. You requested information about final expense options in California. Is that correct? They'll be like, yes, that's correct. Or they'll say, no, I'm not interested. Do you say, hey, I completely understand you're not interested. Before I let you go, I do have your date of birth as 2964. Your email is Mike at truewealth.com. And your beneficiary's name is Arthur. Did I read any of that wrong to you? They'll say no. You read all that right. I'll say awesome. Now, it's my job to quickly verify some information just to make sure that no one's taking insurance illegally out on your name. So with that being said, I'm gonna send you over my badge right now. And guys, you just hop right back into your script. You hop right back into your script. The client says they already have insurance. Hey, Miss Betty, I completely understand you already have insurance right now. Before I let you go, I do have your information as boom, 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 boom. That reading that wrong to you, they'll say no. You go right back into you go right back into your script again. You guys kind of catching the theme here? And guys, if the client says they have no time, I sometimes, depending on how I feel, if it's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, just kidding. Depending on how I feel, the client says they have no time. I call it the pump fake, Brett. I call it the pump fake, Alonzo. What I do is this: the client says they have no time or doing telesales. In my opening line, I will book the appointment. And after I book the appointment, I'll hop right back into my script again and keep going further, 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 further along until they stop me again. I'm gonna say again, if I'm doing telesales, the client says I had no time in an opening line in my script, I will book the appointment. And guys, real quick, guys, make sure you book appointments for the same day for today. Do not book appointments for next week. No, no, no. Book appointments for today only. Latest tomorrow. That's the key. So if you're doing telesales or face to face, if the client says, I don't have time, I will book the appointment and then hop right back into my script again and keep going further. Guys, if you're doing face to face sales, if you're doing face to face sales, I'm gonna knock the door like this. Knock, 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 knock. They open the door. Hey, Miss Betty. They'll say, hey, back. My name is Michael. I'm with Senior Benefits here in Ohio. You requested information on final expense coverage. I was just told to stop by to see what you qualify for. Where can we sit? The minute I say, where can we sit? I'm going to wipe my feet off and lean in. The minute I say, where can we sit? I'm going to wipe my feet off and lean in because I want to show the client I'm about my business. Guys, I'm not the sales agent that knocks on the door that says this. I hope they answer no. I'm gonna boom, knock through that door, and we're making this thing happen today. So, once again, face-to-face script. Hey, Miss Betty, my name is Michael. I'm with Senior Benefits here in Ohio. You requested information about final expense coverage. I was just told to stop by to see what you qualify for. Where can we sit? The minute I say, where can we sit? I'm going to wipe my feet off. Now, guys, if the client says, I have no time, I already have insurance, I remember filling it out, I'm doing face-to-face sales, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. And to your point, Brett, it is a blanket, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with you saying senior benefits because you are working with seniors and you are there to help with the benefits. If you don't feel comfortable saying that, just say, "Hey, my name is Michael. I'm an insurance agent. You can change it up if you want to. It's perfectly fine." Now, if you're doing face-to-face sales, the client says, I don't have time. I don't remember filling it out. I already have insurance. All you're going to say is this, y'all. Hey, I completely understand. Quick question for you. They'll say yes. You're going to hand the lead to them. You're going to ask them, is this your information right here? They'll say, yes, that's me. What you will do next is that you will open up your binder, which hopefully has your state license in it, and also a picture of your driver's license, and also a picture of you and a family member. I'm gonna say it again. And your state license with your binder. And guys, you're doing face-to-face sales and you want to use our presentation binder, once again, shoot me a message on IG or hit me up in my emails, and I will give you our presentation binder for face-to-face sales. For face-to-face sales, when the client says they have no time, they don't remember filling it out, I open up my binder and said, Miss Betty, as you can see here, and over here has my state license, my driver's license, and a picture of me, my loved ones over here. So, Ms. Betty, as you can see here, my name is Michael. I'm actually a licensed agent in the state of Ohio Department of Insurance. I was just told to stop by for 2 or 3 minutes just to see what you qualify for. Did you want to sit inside or did you want to sit outside? The reason why I show my state license at the door because it builds credibility. All right. So back to it, guys. So telesales, face-to-face sales, I promise you, the biggest hurdle agents have is overcoming that opening line, the script. If you can be sharp as a tack and know the rebuttals to all objections, you will do amazing. It's not, you don't want to do this. The client says, I don't have time, and then you rebuttal by saying, oh, you don't have time? Oh, okay. So no, that's not how you rebuttal. You want to know exactly what to say to them. And guys, hear me out too. You know, you know, and I went to Best Buy recently to go buy a TV. And I walked to Best Buy to go buy a TV. And the person said, hey, Mike, do you need help? I said, he said, hey, Mike. But the person like, hey, do you need help? I said, no. Knowing dang well, Noah, I didn't know where the TVs were at Best Buy. It's a human mechanism for us to say, no, we don't need help. Guys, these clients filled out a form. They need life insurance. They need it. The minute you believe that they don't have time, they don't remember filling it out, they already have insurance, all that stuff, that's the minute you may potentially, keyword potentially, lose. Now, if it comes out they actually don't have time, cool. At least now you know. At least you tried. Like at least you tried. But guys, the first objection you get to me in my years of doing this, and me, I've sold over 2,000 clients in my day. The minute you get that first objection, it's just that I never believe it. When you get it again and again and again, then yes, maybe it is true. Maybe it is true. Okay. But guys, so next, the approach, the approach, the approach. Master the objections you're going to get in the approach. Master. I'm telling you right now, you will get, I don't have time. I don't have, guys, the client says, I have no money. So yeah, real quick, guys. So I called a client up. Hey, Miss Betty, my name is Michael. I'm here. I'm the underwriter for your state. You requested information on final expense options in California. Is that correct? The client says, I have no money. Hey, Miss Betty, I have no money either, but my job is to get this information over to you right now. So with that being said, I have your date of birth as this, you have your email as this, and I have your beneficiary name as this. Did I read any of that wrong to you? The client will say no. Awesome. You go right back to your script again. Guys, the clients saying they have no money, guys, I know we can sell them at least a $20 a month life insurance plan, a $30 a month life insurance plan, a fifth. Guys, it's your job to bring so much value to them that they will cut some other bills out and pay for this policy. It's your job to bring the value to them. And it's my job to give myself at least an opportunity to present to them. And real quick too, guys, if you're doing face-to-face sales, never sell without your feet underneath the table. Once again, if you're doing face-to-face sales, never sell without your feet underneath the table. So don't be trying to sell them about the products and insurance. Like, get in the house, then start selling. Guys, I got about 10 more minutes. I said this call would be about a 30-minute call. I'm going for about an hour so far. If you want to learn more from me, if you want to get more coaching like this, I do coaching calls like this pretty much every single day of the week for our agency. So you want more calls like this, reach out to me. If you wanna, this call is probably gonna be recorded. If you want to get the playback, you get the playback as well. Discovery, guys. Approach, discovery, body, close is what is insisted, what's needed to have an effective presentation. So in the discovery, I'm trying to figure out why the client needs insurance. I'm trying to figure out why the client needs insurance in the discovery. So in discovery, I'm asking questions like, why do you need insurance? Are you requesting it for you or for you and someone else? I'm asking them effective questions to figure out why they need insurance. So right now, guys, I'm gonna go over my discovery. Like this is my actual discovery with a live client. So my first question is gonna be this, Miss Betty. I keep saying Miss Betty, so she must need a lot of insurance. Miss Betty, are you requesting information for you or for you and someone else? Put in the chat. Why is that an important first question in your discovery? Miss Betty, are you requesting information for you or for you and someone else? Put in the chat. Why is that an important question? I'm trying to figure out, does this person have a spouse? And they do have a spouse. I want to have them also involved in this conversation as well, because most people, Darden, don't buy insurance without their spouse being there. Most people, most, keyword most. So I'm trying to figure out who needs to be here to make a decision today. First question. Next question. Are you requesting information because you have nothing in place right now? If they say they have no insurance, Melvin, I'm going to say this. Wow. You have nothing? Then they'll be like, yeah, I have nothing in place right now. I say, wow, okay. The reason why I'm slowing down because I wanted to understand that, wow, you said something pretty surprising to me. Once again, the reason I'm saying, pause 2 seconds, nothing, because I want the client to feel like they said something completely wrong to me. And it makes them think about what they just told you about them having no insurance. So the client has no insurance. I'm gonna say, wow, nothing? But yeah, nothing in place right now. I'm getting a little older. I want to get some coverage because of my children. I say, got it. After that question, put in the chat. What am I gonna ask next? I'm gonna ask this next. I'm gonna ask them, what's been the biggest thing stopping you for putting insurance in place on yourself? And usually it's price. Usually it's price. And if it's price, that to me is called an end presentation objection. I need to handle this now. So if it's price has been the biggest thing stopping them, I'm gonna say something like this, Michael or Landon. Hey, Miss Betty, I completely understand price has been the biggest thing stopping you. The great thing about these plans that you requested information about is that everyone so far is enrolling into it that's on a fixed income like you, that's on Social Security or disability. Now, with that being said, have you received any quotes in the mail or over the phone? Guys, if you're not asking the client, have they received quotes in the mail or over the phone, you're losing out on some big time investigation stuff. The client has no insurance. I'm gonna ask them, have you gotten a quote in the mail or over the phone? Guys, hear me out, Alonzo. The first time you ask that question, Terry, they're always gonna say no. They're always gonna say no. So you can ask them a question again. So, Miss Betty, now my parents are around your age. When I go to their house, they get a lot of different things in the mail from different companies. So you're telling me you haven't gotten any quotes in the mail or the phone before? And then be like, oh yeah, well, I got a quote before it was too high. Well, what's too high? Oh, it was about $100 a month. For how much coverage? Oh, about for, 10,000 in coverage. Boom, Terry. Now I know the client got a quote before for 10,000 in coverage for $100 a month. So now my job is to find them a quote that beats 10,000 for $100 a month. And guys, this is all within the first 7 minutes of the conversation. And they have no insurance. After I figure out why they have no insurance and they got any quotes before, I'm gonna next ask them this question. I'm asking the next question. Have you experienced a funeral before? Guys, put in the chat. Why is that question so important? Have you experienced a funeral before? Because I'm trying to figure out, could people buy off pain and emotions? People buy off pain and emotion. You're right, Jay. So when I ask the client, have you experienced a funeral before? I'm gonna ask them who passed away. Was it a burial cremation? Did that person have any insurance? Then how much did it cost for their funeral? After I go through that dialogue, then I'm gonna ask them what's called the power question. Now, Ms. Betty, and guys, you're doing face-to-face sales. This is how I do it. Here's how I do the power question doing face-to-face sales. Ms. Betty, so I know you said that you have no insurance right now, but you want to make sure your loved ones are protected when you go. So if you pass away, let's say last night, who would take care of your final expenses today for your funeral? Your son Jonathan? Got it, Jonathan. Got it, Jonathan. Okay. Jonathan, got it. Okay. So do you think Jonathan is in a spot right now to come out of pocket while he's grieving to pay for your final expenses? He can't? Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. So I'm assuming this is the reason why you want to have something in place for yourself so there's no burden and debt put upon Jonathan when you pass away. Is that correct? Okay, got it. Okay. So how important is this to you? Guys, this is all within the first 10 minutes. I'm going to know if this person is a buyer or not a buyer based off these answers to these questions. After this part, I'm going to now go into the educational part of my script, talking about whole life and term life and the carriers I work with on other stuff. Then I'm going to go over the close. All right, guys, this was so fun. Had a great time. I'm going to pass the call back over to Cody. And if you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out. Love you all. Have a great day.
I love it. What is up? Who enjoyed this thing, man? We have a crazy turnout, by the way. Incredible and phenomenal content. What is up, Michael? Good to see you, man. What's up, Garland? What's up, Jay? You guys are amazing. Okay, we appreciate you hanging with us. Thanks for tuning in with Mike. If you want more content like this, then make sure you stay tuned. Roscoe said, talking about leads, man. Kaboom is the truth. Okay, kaboom is the truth. That's what Mike says, man. Okay. Appreciate Mike and Jalen jumping on with True Wealth. You guys have an amazing night. We'll see you soon. Adios.